Let's face it, there's a ton of red flags out there, and I'm sure you got at least one of them. In the last few years, I've learned a lot, and one of the main things that I really focused on is what to look for in a person, no matter who they are. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you really want to avoid the bad and the ugly, and these are what you call red flags. There's a lot of different red flags out there, and everybody's got their own unique ones that they want to look out for, but I think that there's a top 5 that you really need to look out for in a person before you do anything with them. Starting with number 1. Lack of communication. And this can be communicating in any way. Somebody that lacks the ability to share their thoughts, their feelings, and their concerns. Also, if they're just not able to relay information. Let's say that something negative happens and needs to be talked about. This could be in a relationship, a friendship, or a business. But this person doesn't like conflict and they're not able to get it across the table. Or they just think that you know how they're feeling. At the end of the day, we're all unique people. Nobody can read each other's minds. So be communicative. Even if it's over communicating, I would rather have that than no communication at all. And I would bet that communication is the groundwork of any great relationship. So let's say this might be you and you lack communication skills. How can you practice it? And I think you already know the answer to that. The way to be a great communicator is to communicate. You have to put in the time and the effort to try to talk to people. Really go in depth and really bring your thoughts out. You can never say too much. So look out for the person who lacks communication skills, and if it's you, put in the time to change that skill because it's a major red flag. So number 2 is a pretty obvious one, but it's disrespect. And I honestly think that disrespect can come in so many different forms. That can come in words or in actions. When most people say disrespect, I feel like they think verbal communication. But disrespect could be somebody not showing up for you or being late. Because if somebody's consistently late for something, they do not value your time at all. And that's incredibly disrespectful. And if you're the kind of person that's always late to things, don't hold that as a badge of honor. One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody goes, well, I'm just always late. If you know you're always late, why don't you change it? We all have our things that we have to work on, but that is extremely disrespectful. And it's even more disrespectful if you know you're the kind of person that's gonna be late, and then you're late, and then your excuse is, well, I'm just the guy that's always kind of late. So if that's you, you need to fix that. And if that's somebody that you're talking to right now, you need to run. God, that drives me nuts. Alright, so the next red flag you have to look out for is somebody who has controlling behaviors. Think of that person who's always trying to control or excessively influence you to do something. And this could even look like manipulation in a sense. It's that person who just can't ask you to do something. There's always got to be something that they gain from it. If they're possessive, they don't let you think your own thoughts. Or maybe they just have to control every situation. They tell you what time to show up. They tell you where you're going. They tell you all these different things. Somebody who's like that is definitely a red flag in your life. And if this is you, a lot of times it comes down to you trying to be a perfectionist. And perfectionism in itself is just fear. So in a sense, your fear is pushing people away because you're trying to control an entire situation instead of just going with the flow. So if you have any controlling people in your life or you're trying to control every situation, it's time to give it up. I honestly don't think there is anything quite like a workout after eating a lot of sushi. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite pre-workout meal, or if you have a pre-workout meal, or if there's something that you eat that you just feel amazing in your workout set. Obviously you can't eat like that all the time, but once in a while it's a great treat and I absolutely love it. Moving on to our next red flag, we have to talk about people who are dishonest. And this one has to be one of the main ones that I see consistently in everyday life. Even in the small things, when somebody's dishonest about it, it's gonna lead to the bigger things. Because you know if somebody's lying about something little, they're not gonna be afraid to lie about something big. I used to exaggerate everything. Every story had to be a little bit bigger. Everything had to be a little bit more and had to have a little bit more depth. But once I realized that it was actually pushing people away from me and it started to have a bad kind of taste in people's mouths, I needed to change. And that's the main thing, is once you figure out you have these little red flags, you have to switch them. You have to take action and you have to jump on and admit that you have a problem and then do everything in your power to take it back. And that's one thing you can take from this video. If you have any of these red flags, make sure to nip them in the bud. You just have to accept the fact that, hey, I have a problem right now, but I can change it. And once you start to change them, you're gonna find that a lot of people want to be around you a lot more. You know, if I was smart, I'd probably put like a towel or something down. And I might as well throw a bonus red flag in here. People who can't take care of themselves. Whether that be not making enough money and having to rely on other people, not being able to control what they put in their bodies, not being able to control what they put in their minds, and even just personal grooming. Because we all know that person when they show up, you can just tell that they lack self-confidence. Maybe they let their beard get all rowdy, they don't have a fresh haircut, maybe they even smell bad. Honestly, taking care of yourself is such an easy fix. Let's face it, if you're a man and you're in the gym and you're putting yourself through it, you're probably gonna smell a little bit bad, but you have to be aware of that and, you know, take precautions in that. One of the things I like to do is make sure that I don't have a lot of body hair on me. I find that if I have a lot of body hair, it allows sweat to build up, it allows dead skin cells to build up, and it ultimately makes me smell a lot worse. So I like to take care of my body hair. And luckily I partner up with Manscaped to take care of all these things. You all know how much I love Manscaped and I actually use it. I mean, obviously, you can see that it works. Shaved, not shaved. This is their new Lawnmower 5.0. What I do like is it is an upgraded razor attachment, but on top of all that, they also have a foil attachment to it, so I don't have to go back and forth between my foil razors, which is a huge plus. I also use the Beard Hedger Pro on my beard because it's got all these little dials on it that allows me not to have a bunch of clipper guards. So if you guys need anything in the men's care space, go over, check out manscaped.com. They've got everything for you over there, all the way down to ball deodorant. So head over to manscaped.com, check them out, use my code SS20 off, save yourself 20% off, get free shipping. But that's a huge one. Take care of yourself first, build up that self-confidence, and the easiest way to do that is to take care of your body and make sure that you're well groomed. Now let's take care of the rest of this hair. So last but not least, the last red flag you have to look out for is the people who don't support you. And trust me, there's gonna be a lot of people who don't support your dreams, don't support your goals, don't support where you see yourself going in the future. And that's okay, let them not support you. You don't need them. Because keeping that kind of a person around makes you feel isolated and makes you feel alone. And growth can be a lonely process, but it's always a lot easier when you have people around you supporting your dreams. And this doesn't have to be somebody investing into you, they just have to have your back. When you're at your lows, they're there for you. When you're at your highs, they're there for you. So at the end of the day, be around supportive people and you're gonna achieve things so much quicker. But I wanna hear your guys' thoughts. Tell me the red flags that I missed down in the comments below. And also let this be a moment of clarity for yourself. Sit down and figure out what the red flags are that you might be showing off to people. And this might be time to admit it. If you want to, leave those in the comments below. Because you've got a community here that wants to support you. And the quickest way to drop your red flags is to admit you have a problem. But it's time for me to check out, so I hope some of the information in this video helped you out in some kind of way. If it did, let me know in the comments, click the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all your guys' support. Until I see you again, stay confident.